on past 12:45 EST.
Perfect. I can do 12:45, so that gives us like 25 minutes. Hey, how's it going, Thor?
Good, how are you?
I am good. Let me make sure that I am recording. Okay. And apparently when you leave your desk streaming and the computer goes to sleep, it turns off your stream. I guess I'm usually not gone more than about 45 minutes or an hour when it's streaming, so that was a surprise. All right, first, gotta get to the right channel, I guess. So the Lunch and Learn is something that Thor and I are trying to do each week as a charting review, so you can look to see how we're covering on a higher time frame, bigger picture instead of just for day trades, but the actual charting science, if you will, the art of it, whatever, however you want to describe it. I think of it as a little combination of science and art. So looks like we have two requests. Oh, we have three tickers total. First one is CAG, and I'll have you
Yep,
go.
I'm already looking at it.
And I'll have you
I think
go
we're gonna
first.
do this a little different this time.
Yeah.
Cedar's gonna give her take on it, and then I'll come in after her, and then the next one, I'll come in
We'll
first, and
switch.
she'll come in after, make it so it's a little bit easier, because sometimes we talk over each other because of the delay. I'm
Yeah.
in Mexico, and I have some internet issues from now and again, so I thought this would be a better way of doing it.
Yep, absolutely. And there is a little bit of a delay where I can hear like I can't hear you talking, but then you're yeah, it's so I think this will be beautiful. So CAG, ConAgra brand. So looking at it being a food service product. So I'm gonna start, I'm on the weekly and I'm not seeing anything that catches my eye. I see a lot of consolidation. I see a great candidate for learning how to range trade. I mean, so you could set up let me do a rectangle here. That's just a general, well, no. Okay, there we go. Which gives us a range from 30 to 39, so a $10 range that we've been trading within. I mean, we could even take a little further back from the last interaction. Okay, so from 2015 minus the 2020 dip and a little bit of funniness. Oh no, that was the 2019. So that was, I think that was an issue with China where this stuff when the market sold off, and it actually sold off harder in 2018-19 than it did in 2020. But we're still range bound trading on the monthly basis. So basically, we'll say effectively $30 to $40 trading range. Right now, we're what I would consider diddle in the middle. We're kind of in the middle point, and I don't. Let me draw one more. I'm going to draw a ray from the 2020 lows, and I still don't love that, but I'll put that in there. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to leave that. I'm going to look at this as a range consolidation. So I'd be looking for entries at 30 and look to take profits high 30s. I guess I'll put volume on one of your. Yeah, no, just whatever your thoughts are. We're sitting above or below the volume point of control. That's it. So.
Okay, what I did just now is I posted a chart there. I'm not a buyer yet on it, but it did break a downtrend. If you look at the chart that I show there, the one thing I don't like about it is it has not set a low in yet. It's still making lower lows. If you're looking to buy this, I would wait for it to try to. We don't want to see it make a lower low. You want to see it make a higher low. Ideally, if you follow that line across that I have, I think it's set at 32.91. You could try it and see if it sets a bottom there because it's above the trend line break, and it would be setting a higher low, and that's what you're looking for if you're looking to buy this long term. And that's my my analysis on it now.
So I'm dropping some levels in based on volume profile. So definitely agree that we need to get a little further down into that box. The key area that I see just looking at volume is between 32. Really, it's like 32 quarter to 32 half. That's our next area of volume below here. So if we don't have a solid rally up here, we are looking to target that. And then below there, my next level is 29.92. So I'll drop these. I'm going to put a couple more above for upper limit stuff, but this is a great chart to study for range bound trading instead of breakout trading, because that is the name of the game on this one.
Yeah, the problem with tickers like ConAgra is they don't really move really fast. I mean, they're really good, safe, long-term type plays when you find a spot to buy them.
Is ConAgra, is that a dividend stock? That might explain. Let me,
It is.
okay,
It is, and it paid 33 cents
okay.
last time. So
That explains a lot. So
that's
if you're looking for dividend, you see this kind of price action a lot of times on dividend stocks where you can't figure out why people are buying it, and it's just kind of staying there. They're getting dividends, and the range traders are just trading their butts off on longer swings. All right, that one weekly chart is posted. Next one is OKTA.
all right. I'll take this one first. Oh man, I don't like it yet. I mean, it looks like any kind of run up gets sold off, and I hate today's candle alone. Let me put a weekly on it. By the way, we do not look at these charts. I know this one's been up for a few days, but we don't look at them
We
until
don't. We're recording, literally.
yeah. I mean, this is the first time I've looked at it. Trying to find a reason to like it. Yeah, it's kind of, if you draw a trend line, if you take a weekly and draw a trend line underneath starting in 10/31 of 2022, it broke below that trend line. So I'm not really a buyer on this. I wouldn't even consider it. And I'm not sure where I would consider it, to be honest with you. It's a long ways away from anywhere where I'd buy it. I mean, it's got to hold above 69 for one thing, and then I'd probably look to go back down to a daily.
As soon as I looked at it on the daily, I did not like it. I'm just
No,
staying
it
on
just
weekly.
doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's possible right now it's setting a higher low. I'd wait to see what happens there and then I'd revisit it because it looks to me the place to buy it is somewhere above 73, but you got to wait and see if this bottom gets set. And that's really, for me, it's too early to try to figure out where to buy yet.
So the first
That's it,
level,
Cedar, I'm finished with this one.
first level I dropped in there was I'm a buyer at 50. So that was when you go back and watch the video, and it's $50 exactly, which is unusual for me to get exactly on the penny, because that's where the highest volume is on a dip down. That would not make if we're looking at like high time frames from all-time lows. No, it's just recent lows since 2018. Okay, so if volume came in as buyers around the 50, that's where I would be a buyer. There's a couple of areas of interest below where we are right now, 61.25, and dropped another one, but I don't like that. I'm going to move it just a little. 64.80, and then our volume point of control on like all times is sitting just shy, not all times, of recent times, sitting just shy of 71. And so I really want to kind of see what that interaction is, because we've got tech having way outperformed this ticker, and there just seems to be some kind of lag here that concerns me. So I'd be waiting on a pullback and overall tech breakout following that to do anything with this ticker. Drop a couple more lines in there and I'll throw the chart. If you guys have any more tickers, we only have one more to do, and we've got about another 15 minutes as far as time wise.
Yeah, look at this next one. You're going to love it. We've talked about this one before.
Nice.
It's got that huge dividend. Yeah, Zim paid a dividend of $6.40 last time when it was $20.
Wow. All right, ZIM. Okay, well, my initial feeling is this thing can keep going down. It can definitely keep dropping. And it has actually found a little bit of near term kind of short covering, which, if you think about it, if you've been short, and my guess would be there's been a fair amount of people short, somewhere in the range of like 67, let's say 65 to 70 range, and you see some profit taking. And then as soon as the shorts see that the profit taking is done, because not all shorts cover at the same time, not all participants do what they're going to do at the same time, then they're going to step out of the way. The buyers who are, well, shorts are guaranteed buyers, stepped out of the way and let this thing come back down. So that range created was like 22 to 28 ish. That was support, was in that low 22 range. We punched up into it and then have rejected off of it. So this is a hands off. This is a like, maybe I'll look at it in October. Kind of like I might not even set alerts on it. Our volume point of control for all time is at 17 and some change. Let me get a line in there and get that identified. So that means where the most volume ever has been traded on this ticker is at 1720, and it's going to be within, Thor and I both agree on, just because I'm using a 1 point line or just because we're talking about a level doesn't mean it's to the penny or very exact. It's more like a highlighter, right? Across a small type. It's more like a 4 point line at least. So I guess there's some hope for it if we have a lot of volume come in at 13, and we're currently trading at 1382. So we could have some short covering pops up into these higher volume areas above the 1720. There's not a lot until we get up to 2141. Then next resistance overhead, 2281. One of the things that I typically don't know a lot about the individual, what they do other than general industry. However, we've got integrated shipping, and there's a lot less shipping happening. There's a slowing in the global economy. You can look at it from cardboard boxes in the US, so delivery, that kind of thing, to people having less money across the world because of the retraction we had with the entire shutdowns and all of that stuff. I see this as still really until we start seeing Main Street turn around. So interest rates changing a little bit so that the consumer starts stepping back into, they're people that have always traded in their car every 2 years, for the last 10, 15 years, and now they're not. That is an indication to me that they understand that it's fine if I keep a car for another year or two, and they're going to cut other areas as well, but they'll still buy their cheaper stuff. They're not going to have larger items shipped in, or, like I said, I don't really know what this company does, but integrated shipping services tells me they ship a lot of things and less things are being shipped. So I'll post my chart.
Okay, the way I look at it is there's a possible dividend play here, actually, if you wanted to play it, because they paid, it was $19 and they paid a $6.40 dividend.
That is
I don't even,
nuts. That's
I mean,
amazing.
that's a big, yeah, I mean, it's a huge, huge red flag. But because you can see that it was 20 and now it's 13.
Right.
And take 640 away from 20 and you're going to see where it ends up.
Voila.
Next dividend is going to do the same thing, but you're going to have people that may want to play this to get the dividend. And what you want to do, if you want to play it, is buy some of them. Buy our options, whatever you want to do, but make sure you're out of it before they announce the dividend, because it's just going to fall right out of the sky when they do it again. If they announce one this big, I went farther back and it looks like they gave a $2.95 dividend a 475 dividend, a 285. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if it's $17 or 17 cents. I'm sure it was $17 because it dropped out of the sky.
Yeah.
250 and 2. So they do pay big dividends. I would buy options on this at over 14. If it held above 1475, I would buy options on this, but and try to run the dividend up, but make sure you're out before they announce the dividend, even a few days. Just take
Like 3
what you
days.
can get out of it.
Don't even wait, like whatever pump you get out of it. Cause I mean, from a dividend perspective, that makes absolute sense.
Yeah, this is a stock that they're bleeding. I mean, it was $80 not too long ago, and it's sitting at 20 now, or
Well,
14 to
so
13.
looking at
So-
news, the news, meme stock alert, Wall Street bet wins in court decision. Who knows what that is, but that's in the news for Zim. And then we've got stock alert, what to know at Zim as Zim integrated shipping lowers guidance. And so that was all July 12th. And then Zim integrated shipping falls on earnings forecast cut for fiscal year 2023. So if you're thinking of this as a buy the dip, I guess maybe that's something to discuss with that kind of news 2 weeks ago, because it looks like we might have found some short covering here. Buy the dip is a dangerous thing because if
Yeah, I
you
mean,
look
it's
at the general trend,
yeah, it is. You're playing, buying it at over 1470 is a technical play, but trying to run it up on a dividend is a lottery play. So there's two different things going on here when I mentioned the buy and where to sell. One's a technical above 1470, 1475, and the other is running it up to the dividend, which is that's a gamble lottery play. So it's kind of a mix there, which I normally don't do, but I might try it. I might do it just because it could pay off pretty big, but it's got to be a really cheap option to do it for me.
well, and
it's gotta
if
be
you look at
throwaway
the
money.
patterns, it swings up and then sells off, swings up, sells off, swings up, sells off. So any kind of large candle you get, especially weekly, I'm not even looking at this thing on the daily because I will be over it completely and move on. But when you've got a dip like we have right now, right, that's setting up for a potential little squeeze up. For me, it would be like the 17, probably $18 range, and that can be one weekly candle on short covering. And that, looking at it from Thor's dividend kind of concept, would be, looking at what your dates are, making sure that you're knowing that it's not going to be you're going to buy this and marry it and live with it forever because it's in your long-term investments. It's fairly risky. And if you're not fast at trading, probably not your trade.
All right, we have time for one more, and actually APPS is one that I alerted this morning. So I already know about this one.
All right.
I think it's going to move up. I missed it. I actually was watching it and I missed it. I wanted to buy it on a bounce of a hold above 1040. And that's where I'd want to buy it again. It's sitting at 1053 now. But I believe this stock is going to start moving up and probably going to fill the gap eventually. I probably would not buy, I won't buy options on it. I'll end up buying shares, but I'm waiting. I'm hoping that I can get somewhere near 1040. I'm thinking that I might even get in at 1045, 46. We're really close, but I want to stick to my guns on it because I really want it in at 1040, but I'll wait. And then if it fails and holds under 1040, I'll watch it to stay above 10 because remember I'm playing commons, so I'm not going to get killed like options.
Right.
If it closes under 10, I'm out.
So I definitely have charted this one for, because we've got lines in here. Just drawing some trend lines in. So the key levels, I see a pretty easy back test to the 1042 level. And if that level fails, I would be surprised not to see it hit 7. So we do have a downtrending channel. Totally fine. Normal price action until I cannot go long on this until we break above the top trend line. So the top trend line I have is from August 15th, 2022, second attachment, another wick, and these are on weekly. is January 30th, 2023. So until I get a weekly close over that, which is 1230-ish range, which looks to be one of my levels that I dropped on the weekly before, we should see resistance there. So if you happen to be long right now in this 1030, 1025-ish range, or even buying some pullbacks, I'll be really surprised to see it make over that 1230, and I would need confirmation. So 2 daily closes above that trend line. I'd like the weekly, but 2 daily closes. So if we have one breakover and back test that holds that downtrend line anywhere in that 11-ish range, I could buy the breakout on that one, but not until then. So this is one of those you set alerts on for me, and I don't even look at the chart again until that alert sends me my email or my pop-up or whatever. I had to take the pop-ups off because too many devices to clear it on, but something so that you know it's there, but not continuing to look at it, because you could keep just buying the dip and buying the dip. What does Digital Turbine do?
Yeah, keep in mind, guys, that Cedar and I, we read charts pretty much the same, but we play them different. I like to play bottom plays. The reason why I like to basically bounce plays, and the reason why I like bounce plays is because there's a better spot to set stop losses.
For sure.
For me, it's a better risk reward. So that's why you hear us say different things on a chart, and why she would enter at different places is because we play the charts different, but we read them the same.
Yeah, so we're looking at levels, and it's kind of interesting because my levels come from a combination, well, primarily volume, using volume profile on higher time frames. Thor's is also volume, like price action is definitely the king, but I also use moving averages in combination with that to set my supply and resistance levels. So the important thing to take from that is Thor and I had not really ever, I mean, until we started doing this, maybe like 3 months ago, we had never talked TA at all. We'd watched his other trades, like, oh, that's nice, but we hadn't really, and it was kind of surprising how similar our levels were, with an absolutely completely different background in how we arrived at this. And trade strategy is very individual. It has to be very individual, because you have to define your edge, you have to see what you trade well. And there are some bottom plays like what am I in right now, that like AAP, where I took Starbucks, that kind of thing. Those charts for me were like, okay, it's very easy. If we fail this level, I'll get out. But charts like this say to me, we could continue to grind down this channel until we have that breakout. And what the difference is Thor's going to have a more defined, like, I'm going to cut this if it comes below this level, to already have the foot in the door, to already have that trade initiated. So higher risk, shorter like stop out. So I will make less money net out on the trade, but I have a higher likelihood, if I can see confirmation of it closing over those levels, is what I was talking about. So breakout, back test, confirm, but I'm probably will make less money, but it's more likely. So it's a good thing to look at different trading styles, because it definitely is something that you will need to define for yourself and not just listen to other people. That's why just following alerts is not great, other than if you know that that person understands their strategy and you're following their strategy, that there is a higher likelihood of them understanding their edge while you learn to define your edge, right?
Yep. Hey, Cedar, I got to run, but the next one up is LAC. So if I could comment on that one quickly, because I did call that one as well. And then I got to run. You can tell them what you think afterwards.
Perfect. Let's go.
Somebody asked me about LAC this morning, as a matter of fact, and I'm still in it. And the reason why I'm still in it is because when I set my stop loss on it, I did not set good till close. I did that on accident.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, sometimes we make mistakes. I thought I set it for good till close. I mean, good till cancel, but I didn't. So I'm still in it. Yes, it did break. It's invalidated because it did break the trend lines that I had set up. But I have no choice but to try to look at the next spot that could possibly happen. So right now, I'm watching for a close. If it closes below 1925, I'm going to get out 100%. If it stays above 1925, I'll see what happens. But it did break the trend line. It is invalidated. but I'm still in it because I made a mistake.
It happens to the best of us for sure. We've got a symmetrical triangle,
yeah.
slightly descending, but symmetrical triangle. This qualifies in that same category. I've definitely charted this before for these sessions, and I'm still waiting for a breakout over. So same exact as the last one. I want to see a daily candle close above the downtrend line, which is sitting somewhere in the like 21, 22-ish range. Back test, successful back test, not selling back under. And then I would take it, because we would be above our volume point of control, which is sitting at 2093, to target 2356, 2519, 2828. And then I've got some other levels that I'll post in the chart as well. But all those levels still hold true. So for me, this is a sit back and wait. And the thing you have to remember is, while Thor's talking about trade being invalidated, it's still right on the edge. For me, it's still inside that symmetrical triangle. It's slightly descending, but it's still holding. If we look at it on weekly, we still have lower highs from a weekly time frame that are hanging by the threads. All right, apologies for getting started a little bit late, but definitely want to see you guys get some other tickers in here so that when we do have that full like 45 minutes, hopefully, I'm trying to block 45 minutes for the session each week to be able to go in and do more than 4 or 5 tickers. There's been times we had 10 or 12, and that gets a little tight when we're on a 30 or 35 minute schedule. However, if we need to, we come back in and chart them. So, if you want to start just dropping them in, it's very, very helpful to have a list of them that we can, really dig into. And it doesn't have to be 15, 4, 5, 6. We want you to learn more, not necessarily about that ticker, but about how we look at it. So you can use that, start building into what defining your edge is, because that's the most important part. All right, Thor, I'm going to let you go. I will upload this video. I think he's actually out already, probably. So thanks for hanging out with us. And again, apologies for getting started a little bit late. I will upload video for replay if you happen to miss the first part of this, and we'll go from there. All right, see you guys on Regular Voice in just a little bit.